Next month marks 2 years since some of the worst floods Central Texas has ever seen swept across the region. After hours of sweat and dozens of volunteers to help, one family is spending their first night back at home since those storms. KXAN's Lauren Landman takes us to San Marcos.
This just used to be 2 steps. Now it's a whole bunch of steps.
Brenda Polanco's home isn't the only thing that's been raised.
It's a blessing.
Her spirit
I can't describe the feeling.
is noticeably higher as well.
No place like home.
The smile on Brenda's face comes after a long fight to return home. In May of 2015, her home was just one of many on her block destroyed by the massive flood.
You're asleep and then phone rings telling you time to evacuate. You've got policemen with the intercoms telling it's evacuation time, you've got to get out.
Almost 2 feet of water rushed into her bedroom, living room, and kitchen.
By the time we got to come back, there was already mold growing up the walls. The sheetrock was warped and stuff, and the wood floorboard started to warp.
Since that day, a number of nonprofits have been helping the family raise the house 4 feet and rebuild.
It's basically a brand new house on the inside.
And on the outside, a surprise.
I was like, oh my God, that's a beautiful ramp. And they built it, and my mom can hold on to each side if she needed to, and she didn't have her walker.
Giving Brenda peace of mind for the first time in a long time.
It took a process, but we're home.
Lauren Landman, KXAN News.
The Blanco River Regional Recovery Team is the organization that helped build the Polanco's home, and it operates solely on volunteers and donations. They say they still have almost 300 homes to complete, and they are always in need of volunteers. If you'd like to help, you can look for a link to this story at KXAN.com. The Memorial Day weekend floods of 2015 were one of the costliest natural disasters in our area when it comes to money and lives. A dozen people lost their homes that weekend, many in one Wimberley home that washed downstream. The bodies of 2 children were never found. Across the state that weekend, the Insurance Council of Texas says victims made more than $400 million in claims, including claims on about 20,000 vehicles.